Hello again, gamers. This is the Board Game Captain, and today I am here with Travis Winters from Atlas Games out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Is that correct?
Yep, St. Paul, but the Twin Cities.
St. Paul, Minnesota. I have been corrected. I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again.
Me both.
That being said, I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of Atlas Games. You guys have been putting out some really high-quality stuff lately. I was a big fan. Oh, you're welcome. I was a big fan of the job you guys did on Cursed Court. I thought the production on that was off the charts. The second edition you guys did for Murder of Crows was fantastic. I love the little tin. And also, after doing a preview for the Kickstarter version, you sent me the pre-production version of Cogs and Commissars. I bought into the Kickstarter because I really wanted to get my own copy of it. And I can't wait for it to come.
I remember seeing your name in there.
So tell me now, when can we expect Cogs and Commissars to hit stores? That's the first thing I got to ask.
I have to ship it out to the Kickstarter backers first. It is supposed to be in the country in October. Okay. So more than likely, stores will see it in November.
Okay. And so this November, so for the holiday buying season, you guys can look for that. It's a really great, my personal opinion, and this is, I'm not being paid to say this at all. My personal opinion is it's a really great take that card game. A lot of fun, really quick, really great. What other new stuff can we expect coming from you guys in the not too distant future?
Well, at Origins, we did a prototype night for all the games we were working on.
Okay.
What the biggest one, or the one that got the most buzz, I guess is the right word, Break It Up a Notch.
Okay.
It's a fun little card game with an app that'll play music. And while the music's playing, you're rolling meeples to get them to do breakdance poses.
That sounds weird.
And when you get the poses, you drop them onto the cards. And when you get a card filled up, you're supposed to scream out the card's name, set aside, draw another card. And you keep going until the timer runs out, which is the app music, right?
Okay, wait. So this is called Break It Up a Notch?
Yep, you're breakdancing to score points.
Okay, and when are we thinking this is going to be kickstarted or coming out? Or
it'll come out. I doubt we'll kickstart it. It'll be out sometime next year, 2019. We are currently in development.
Okay, Lynn is a ridiculously huge fan of Breakin' and Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo. I'm not making this up. We have copies of them on Blu-ray. And I'm sure she's going to want to get a copy of this game when it comes out.
So how far from St. Paul do you live? You should come over for a night of gaming and fun.
A gaming and watching Breakin' and Breakin' 2?
No, you should come and play Break It Up a Notch.
Oh, fair enough. So now you said, this one you said you're looking to release next year sometime?
Yeah, it's still in development. We're working on, that's one of them. We've got one called Blind Fire.
Okay.
That is a multiplayer game where some of you are good guys, some of you are bad guys.
Okay.
And the goal is to figure out who's on what team.
Okay.
So you can shoot each other, you can help each other, you can give them money, all these various things you're trying to do.
What are you playing as?
God, it's been a long time since I played it because I didn't run the prototype night.
Okay.
Basically cops and robbers.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you're trying to figure out who's got what scenario, because you get to look at one person. So I don't know what I necessarily am, but I get to look and see what you are.
Oh.
You're a cop. So now I have to look at how people are treating me or how you're helping other people to try and figure out what they are as well, because you know this guy over here.
Okay.
He knows this guy. Well, if you're helping him, you two must be the same. You're not trying to hurt me, so maybe I'm the same. So you're trying to figure out who's the cops and who's the bad guys.
So is this sort of like a reverse take on the social deduction games? Like, instead of trying to figure out what everyone else is, you're trying to figure out what yourself is?
Yes, and you're also trying to get your team to win.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That sounds interesting. And what's that called again?
Right now, Blind Fire, but that
could change.
Air quotes around that.
Do we have any? So is that one kind of further off in the distance at the moment?
Break It Up a Notch will be the next one that hits.
Okay.
As far as I can tell in development. Kyla, the developer, is my office partner, so... Okay. That's the one she is enjoying the most, so I think that one's the closest to being done. It'll be another one of the tin games. She's already got it planned out that it'll be a tin, and the inside of the top of the tin will be the score track, and the things that you'll measure your tracking will be magnets. or magnetized.
That sounds really cool.
So it's really the components so far that we've come up with are really cool.
Yeah, you guys always pay a lot of attention to the production. I love when you come up with those ideas. That's really cool. Yeah. So anything else you guys get working on? Anything else you want to talk about in general or in specific?
God's Forge is another one Kyla's nearly complete on. That one's probably next year as well.
Okay.
And there's a Yukon Salon. It was a Kickstarter game that we will take and just put into distribution, just kind of release it like the Baba Geek game, Robot Riddle, stuff like that. So that's pretty much all we've got right now in production. I mean, there's some other secret-y things that I just cannot tell you.
Fair enough.
As a ticketed event at Origins, that was the best attended events that we ran. So we plan on doing more of those next year, potentially Gen Con as well.
Oh, very cool.
If we can get Unplugged to do something like that, because we got the best feedback out of all the playtest groups that we've done in the cities there who are just used to seeing us. We got better feedback from people who are like, I want to try a prototype. What's going on? What is this game? And right now we call it this, but in 6 months it could be different. Witches of the Revolution was originally Blessed Be Thy Revolution. So we changed that one, so.
Gotcha. So, awesome. Well, that sounds like you got some really great stuff coming. I know that when I tell Lynn about the breakdancing game, Break It Up a Notch, she is going to want to get a copy of that. That's one that definitely she's going to want to check out.
I'm not kidding. You're not that far away. You're in Wisconsin. Come visit us.
Illinois.
Oh, Illinois. Oh, okay. That's right. 773.
We're not too far. So, okay. Are you ready for? I'm going to ask you some lightning round questions. You ready for these?
Knock it out.
All right. So these are just to kind of get some fun personal answers from you on some silly questions. You ready?
Okay.
No wrong answers. So first,
to my boss.
If you could spend an evening gaming with any historical figure, who would you choose and why?
Wow. Probably some Viking chieftain. Any of them.
How about Ragnar Lothbrok? What do you think?
I love watching the Vikings show. Or a Roman emperor.
Fair enough.
I love historical wargaming. So
it'd be great to get some strategy tips from some people who won real battles.
Hi, Caesar. How are you? Talk to me about this battle.
Actually, Caesar's even better than Ragnar. That's a good one. I like that. So how about, now, what is one of your least favorite game mechanics that's still used in modern games?
Ooh. I understand why Dixit won Game of the Year. I do not enjoy that style of game. Tribond is another one that I don't know what mechanic to call that, but I don't enjoy that style of game, so I don't enjoy playing that game.
I know what you mean. There's plenty of popular games where I look at them and I don't understand, but other people like them. I'm like, one with me, just to throw one out for me, I don't get Scythe. I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but I'm throwing it out there. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, I understand why Dixit won Game of the Year. The components, the ability for literally anyone to play this game, 8 to 88. I get why I won it. It's just not my cup of tea. So,
all right. So, if you could buy a personal robot and download the personality and intellect of any game designer in the industry, past or present, into it to game with, what designer would you choose?
I actually don't know that many designers. I'm the warehouse guy, so and I play with two. I play with John Nephew and Jeff Tidball already.
See, that's not fair. You already got personal designers to play with. So who's that again?
Jeff Tidball is our chief operating officer, and John Nephew owns the company. So.
Oh man, that's a bad question for you. You already got designers to play with.
Games, so I played games with Patrick Leader. By the way, if you're getting Root, that's because of me. I shipped it out for them. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I want to get a copy of Root. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, definitely.
They've got boatloads. I warehouse for them. So
good. I'm going to try to grab one tomorrow.
They had 7 pallets come in. So.
Oh, very good. It's going to be a high demand one at the con for sure.
If it sells out, I think they brought enough that Sunday will be the day of sellout.
Oh, really?
But it could easily sell out.
Oh, yeah. So, what is one of the first games that hooked you into the tabletop gaming hobby?
My friends introduced me to Dungeons and Dragons when I was in 6th grade. I am 48, so that was 36 years ago.
Oh, wow.
That's what started it. And then I moved to more board gaming and then found miniature gaming. And when I moved up to Minnesota in 2001, I really couldn't connect well with a role-playing group. So role-playing's really dropped off. I still pick up some books here and there to read, but for me, it's miniature gaming. I absolutely love like Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Saga.
What was your first miniature game?
Warhammer.
Warhammer?
Yep.
Fantasy or 40K?
Fantasy.
Yeah, I used to love Warhammer Fantasy back in the day. Big fan. So I played through about 4 editions of it, I think. Yeah.
I've been playing it for 30 years, so.
Wow. So
I'm old.
Okay. What was your first army?
Skaven. I love the rats.
Mine was Beastmen back in the day. So now, what do you think is one of the most underused themes in gaming? A theme that really needs some more love these days. What do you think?
Historical.
Historical? Just in general, or any particular historical period? What do you think?
I like the Viking era. I've done a lot of reading and studying in the Dark Ages and the Vikings, and it fascinates me that those guys were brave enough to go out on the water and do what they did in a wooden boat.
You know, it's funny. There's going to be people, and I want to clarify because I'm with you on this. There's going to be people who say, not enough Viking games, but most of the Viking games are not historically based at all. They're not proper. There's like maybe 1 or 2 real historical Viking games, and the rest of them are like the cartoony pop culture version of Vikings that is not accurate. So I'm actually totally with you on that.
At Origins, I picked up the Academy Games Vikings 878. I've not had a chance to play it yet, but
that looks great.
I'm really looking forward to that one.
So now, one final question. Who's your favorite board game YouTuber whose name is a mix of a naval rank and their real name?
The Board Game Kaptain.
That's the right answer. So until next time, game on.